All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders in tonight's video. Now, unfortunately, today, day 2 of training camp, they didn't look good, or apparently they didn't look good. The good news is I'm talking about the offense. Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell struggling a little bit today with consistency. The good news is the Las Vegas Raiders defense is that freaking good. Whether it's Gardner Minshew, whether it's Aiden O'Connell, my opinion is it better be freaking Aiden O'Connell, but neither here nor there. Whichever quarterback is going up against this defense in camp, folks, you're going up against, in my opinion, and this sounds crazy if you're not a Raiders fan at this point in time, you're going up every single day against the top 5 defense. Yep. The Raiders, in my opinion, are a top 5 defense. The defensive back room is literally the only room that people are concerned about. Well, folks, whether you're Marcus Epps, Trevon Moehrig, Jacorian Bennett, it don't matter because apparently the defensive back room looks pretty freaking good. So welcome back to the channel. But before we get into tonight's video, if you guys enjoy, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily Raiders/NFL content. Raiders fans, if we could try and get this video to 250 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. Thank you so much for watching. Before we get into today's observations, I do just want to say, and we say this in every video, the defense, folks, I don't care if you're the Raiders or whoever the last ranked defense was, maybe Washington, your defense is always going to be better than the offense in day 1 and day 2 and day 3 and the first couple of practices of training camp. So don't freak out from whatever you've heard about Gardner Minshew. Don't freak out from whatever you've heard about Aiden O'Connell. Let's look at the bigger picture here. This time last season, the NFL world was completely oblivious to the talent on the defensive side for the Las Vegas Raiders. Well, this year's a little bit different. And this year, it makes a little bit more sense that we're 2 days into training camp and the Raiders' offense is struggling against this defense. Trevon Moehrig, Marcus Epps, Malcolm Kuntz, Jacorian Bennett. I am hearing praise after praise after praise after praise for so many of these defensive players. But just keep in mind, guys, they're a little bit ahead of schedule, especially now that you have a brand new fresh offense coordinator in Luke Getsy. It's just going to take a little bit of time for things to get clicking. All right. Clicking's a good word there. Now, today was mainly focused for the offense in the red zone field. They struggled. I'll keep it a buck with you guys. Everything we've heard, everything I've heard is that the Raiders offense struggled in the red zone. Gardner Minshew actually started off the day today, which is really interesting. I'm not a huge fan of it. And it has nothing to do with Gardner Minshew. It just has the fact that, look, and we talked about this yesterday, if Aiden O'Connell's not my day 1 starter, if Aiden O'Connell's not my franchise guy, we got to start looking at alternative options unless somebody turns into a franchise guy. And that dude would probably be Gardner Minshew, who's it's not even that he's getting up there in age. It's just, we kind of know his floor. We kind of know his ceiling. He led the Colts to a 9-8 record last year when Anthony Richardson got injured in week 4. But if Gardner Minshew's the long-term quarterback, they only signed him for 2 years. If he's my starter for the next 2 years, the Raiders are in trouble. I'll just say that. But keep in mind, guys, it's day 2 of training camp, and you're going up against the top 5 level defense. So let's go through our notes today. Gardner Minshew started the day. He had multiple interceptions, all right? But stay calm because Aiden O'Connell didn't have a good day either. Trevon Moehrig, Marcus Epps had a couple of interceptions today. But once again, folks, it's a brand new freaking offense. And the good news is, as we know, the defense is going to start better than the offense. I don't care what team you are. You could be any 32 teams in the National Football League. 99% of the time, maybe unless you're the Kansas City Chiefs, your defense is going to be better than your offense, all right? So the good news is that we're hearing all these quarterback struggles. The defensive back room looks really good. Jack Jones apparently is really impressing Raiders coaches. Jacorian Bennett, who's penciled in as quarterback number 2, is really impressing Marcus Epps. Trevon Moehrig had a couple of interceptions today. But yeah, Speaking of Aiden O'Connell, he struggled in the red zone today. He had a turnover-worthy play, apparently Malcolm Kuntz related. We're waiting on that Malcolm Kuntz official star breakout. He tasted it a little bit in the second half last season when Antonio Pierce was officially the head coach. But we're just kind of waiting for Malcolm Kuntz to turn into this star edge rusher that we think. Also, just want to throw this in there. Tyree Wilson looks really good. I just want to throw that in there. He looks really good. One thing positive for Gardner Minshew is he threw a couple of touchdowns, Devontae Adams, et cetera, et cetera. One good positive note for Gardner Minshew, and I hate that I'm even saying this, but folks, I just want to throw this in here. We've been covering the Raiders for 3 or 4 years now. If Gardner Minshew is the starting quarterback, I will really be upset. And once again, that has nothing to do with Gardner Minshew, but apparently he used his legs today to get some touchdowns, to get some first downs in 7-on-7, 11-on-11 drills. The reason that concerns me is we're about to get to it. If Aiden O'Connell's struggling in the red zone and Gardner Minshew isn't, which, by the way, wasn't the case today, I'm a little bit worried about who's starting week 1. All right, but moving forward, injury update, Colton Miller, according to GM Tom Telesco, he's got a couple more weeks left. So we've been seeing Andres Pete starting at left tackle, which makes a bunch of sense now, looking in hindsight, why they signed Andres from the New Orleans Saints. He's a longtime NFL veteran. My concern is a little bit that Colton Miller starts the season on the PUP list, the physically unable to play list, which would mean he can't be eligible to be reinstated for 4 weeks. So it's fine if Pete gets the start for the first month of the season, but whenever Colton Miller comes back, if he doesn't come back at any point in training camp or preseason, he's going to start slow. All right. So that's really unfortunate. JPJ, the good news is he should be back in the next couple of practices. Once again, this is coming from Tom Telesco. And then finally, we got some Dylan Labe breakout question marks here. He's an interesting young weapon. You know, he's been compared to CMC a lot, Christian McCaffrey over in San Francisco. We'll wait and see. I hope at least he has some reps, whether that's special teams, backup running back, whatever it is. But he is definitely a rookie I've got a keen eye on for this upcoming season. And then finally, we'll end it on this point. Jesus, it's freaking 11:43 here in Florida. Brock Bowers apparently looks phenomenal. Brock Bowers apparently looks like one of the fastest dudes in the receiving room for the Las Vegas Raiders. So I just want to throw that in there. That's all we got for today because it's midnight. My birthday's in a couple of minutes here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. Let me know which under the radar player are you most excited to keep reading, hearing, seeing about in training camp for the Las Vegas Raiders. Thank you for watching. Peace.